Talltoad Tales, Thomas Jefferson Talltoad in Westward Ho, by Janice Lee Brannan. Westward ho! The toad wagons, on they roll. Westward ho! Across rivers and mountains, in the rain, through the snow. They were lumbering westward through the heat and the cold on an uncharted course, and on the wagons they rolled. In the lead T.J. Talltoad, wagon master supreme, by whose wit and raw courage they'll achieve their toad dream. In the face of grave danger he was fearless and quick. Some had tried to outsmart him, but he knew every trick. T.J.'s wife, Tilly Talltoad, was as tough as her man. Any trouble that saw her, it just picked up and ran. She bore hundreds of children, and she raised them right smart. They had courage aplenty, but were tender of heart. It was one of her offspring, at least so the tales told, who contracted the fever and died panning for gold. Oh, his grave, it was shallow, in that hard, rocky soil, and the dust in his jeans, the reward for his toil. Giddy up, mules, start movin', pull and strain, do your best. All the wagons are loaded, and our train's movin' west. On and on rolled those wagons in a slow, steady stream, while the days and the months passed like a recycling dream. Then the Dakota's bleak badlands finally drew into sight, and they circled the wagons to prepare for the night. Oh, the stars were like diamonds, the night air crisp and still, when a coyote's howl came from some distant hill. Then appeared out of nowhere a fair Indian child. "It is I, Princess Blue Jay. Greetings to you," she smiled. "We are buffalo hunters," and she stretched out her hand. "To the distant horizon, this is Indian land. The great chief bids you welcome. We would ask that you be honored guests at a powwow. We shall see you at 3. So they met the great Tom Tom, a formidable chief. They swore friendship eternal, though their meeting was brief. As a gesture of goodwill, a small parcel of land for a town was awarded to T.J. and his band. 10 more days they must journey toward the red setting sun. On the banks of Dry River, a new town was begun. They built little toad houses, then a little toad school, and a park that was shaded by a big old toadstool. There were stores along Main Street, a hotel, bar, and grill. Barbecued gnats and French flies were the dinner throng's thrill. Oh, the fame of the Talltoads permeated the West. In the toad world they stood for all the brave and the best. Our own T.J. was sheriff, and he upheld the law. But if ever the need rose, he was quick on the draw. And it happened the daughters had their own special flair. They achieved in some realms which in those days were rare. Teeny Tiny, a Talltoad who could sure pick a tune, was the star of the show in Dusty Dollar Saloon. Is adorable Talltoad, the most glamorous one, ran the Dollar Saloon with her right hand on her gun. Though she sold beer and whiskey, she drank only white wine, and while others might chow down, Isadora would dine. And the family of Talltoad made the theater scene. Daughter Twinkletoad Twyla, graceful toe-dancing queen. Her career took her east, so with big tears in her eyes, she hopped off to the bright lights amidst tender goodbyes. Talltoad's journey had ended, but soon thousands would pour from the lands of the East Coast to the far western shore. 49ers were dazzled by the shine of gold dust, and their lusty cries echoed, "California or bust!" Came those restless by nature, came those searching for gold, came the poorest of poor, came the boldest of bold. Their high sense of adventure proved to be quite a boon, and perhaps it might someday lead them clear to the moon.